The Search for Ava, written and illustrated by pixierules247, dedicated to my little sister, who loves these books. She was also the one who gave me inspiration. I'd also like to thank my parents and my friends, Bunchkin, Plumtree Butterfly 29, and Standing Rabbit, as well as everyone in my class, who helped make my story into what you are reading now. Not too long ago, there was a cottage made out of sticks and stones in an abandoned redwood forest. The cottage was small and poorly made, but it was nice. The forest used to be a national park, but it was destroyed. People didn't want it anymore. In the cottage, there was a boy named Mark, his best friend and sister, Ava, and their white poodle sheepdog, Marshmallow. Mark and Ava were both 12, while Marshmallow was 15 in dog years. They lived together after running away from their family. They were the only people who lived in the forest, except for another girl, but we'll get to that later. The two siblings were completely different. Well, Mark loved playing video games. Ava loved playing soccer in the meadow with the bunnies. Yes, bunnies play soccer. The forest seemed to be inhabited at the first notice, but there were many living things in it. Mark had black hair. Ava had blonde hair. Mark had green eyes. Ava had brown eyes. But even so, ever since Ava and Mark had met each other, they had been the best of friends. Everything seemed great. On a cold winter night, Mark had just finished reading his favorite book, which was full of creepy stories. He was about to put it away when he noticed that he didn't hear Ava snoring. "Hello?" he called. "Ava?" He stood up and walked out of bed. He suddenly screamed. He was falling. And he finally remembered. He jumped on the couch to sleep. The couch was about 2 feet tall. He searched for a flashlight and turned it on. He shined it on a bed. "Ava?" He shined it on the ceiling. The ceiling was broken. That explains why he felt as cold as ice. Just then, his dog, Marshmallow, ran in. "Hey, little guy," Mark said as he ruffled the little pup's fur. "Do you know where Ava is?" Mark knew that Marshmallow wouldn't reply, but it felt good asking him. "No, but I could help you." Who said that?" "You can understand me?" "Who's me?" "Me, Marshmallow." Mark looked down and realized that Marshmallow had been speaking the whole time. You can talk?" "Yes, duh. Why do you think you hear gossip about the latest dog bones at night?" "Okay. How can you talk?" "I don't know. I was just minding my own business, and suddenly you can understand me." "Huh?" "I looked everywhere. I couldn't find Ava, and the whole house has tons of snow on the roof." "Oh, that's bad. If only Ava knew about this." "Oh, speaking of Ava, check your email." Marshmallow barked happily. "That's how she gives emergency messages." "Good idea," Mark said as he grabbed his phone. "No email," he complained. "Come on, maybe she left a letter in the mailbox." They went outside and opened the mailbox. "Whoa," Marshmallow giggled. "When do you ever clean out that mailbox?" "Oh, be quiet," Mark growled. "Invitation to move to Mountain View, spam mail. A coupon for triple scoop sundae in the trash. A letter for Ava." He read it aloud. February 9th, 2015. Dear Mark, during the storm, I had a weird urge to just go on a hike. I kept on going until I got to a strange wolf cave. The wolves growled and growled at me, and that was all I remembered, until I woke up in a room with mice. At least the mice are friendly, not to mention cute. Help! Best wishes, Ava. P.S. Bring me some lunch, preferably a taco when you come, okay? Mark stared at the letter and let it sink in. "This is nuts!" he screamed, running around like a maniac. "No kidding," said Marshmallow. "She hates tacos." "Is that all you think about?" Mark shrieked. "Let's get Ava." As the two friends set out, they were even more scared than a fly that is an inch away from a fly swatter. "Marshmallow?" Mark asked. "Yes," replied Marshmallow. "Oh, maybe we could ask girl that lives in the center of the forest where Ava is. She ought to know." What girl?" "Do you ever pay attention?" "No, yes, no, do I even care?" The two walked for miles. Mark cut his arm, and Marshmallow had to bring clean tree leaves to heal it. After 3 hours, they finally got to the girl's cottage. Mark knocked on the door and heard the girl's voice. "Coming!" The door opened. and Mark saw a 12-year-old girl with dark blue hair. He was about to ask why, since dark blue hair is sorta weird, until she said, "I'm Nicole. Who are you?" "I'm Mark," he said. "I'm looking for my sister. By any chance, have you seen a girl with blonde hair?" Nicole looked at him. "Oh yes, I must get my security book. It shows everything." Then he noticed that she was floating. Why are you floating?" Mark asked. "Oh, I'm a mythologist, and if you want to become a mythologist, you have to become mythology." Nicole laughed. Marshmallow was totally weirded out. Mark followed Nicole for a long staircase, and after what seemed like forever, they finally got to the 4th floor, which had so many books that you could hardly walk. Nicole floated away like there wasn't anything in her way. "Wind book," she said. "Hey, you come back here. Magic for dummies. Why did I even get this book? Ah, here it is, my security book," Nicole said as she pointed at a book. It flew out and opened to page 246. Nicole read from the book. "Today is February 10th, 2015. On February 8th, 2015, a girl with blonde hair went into a wolf cave. Her name appears to be Ava." "That's it!" Mark exclaimed, accidentally kicking down Nicole as she was climbing up a ladder. "Gah!" Nicole screamed. "Sorry," Mark apologized. "Now we know where she is. Where is that wolf cave?" "In the deep, dark woods." "Why there? Do wolves live in the busy streets of the city?" No." "Then you get it." Mark, Marshmallow, and Nicole set out to find Ava. Marshmallow sniffed around and said, "I know where Ava is." "Really?" Mark exclaimed. "Where is she?" "Straight ahead," Marshmallow woofed as they walked. As they were walking, Mark slipped. "What is it?" Nicole asked calmly but worried. "I keep on slipping," Mark said, making attempts to stand back up, but he kept on falling down. "Well, I'm not Oh no, somebody save my life!" Mark looked at Nicole and suddenly realized that her feet had ice skates on them. She was trying hard to balance, but she kept on falling down on her face. She also noticed that the field was iced over. Marshmallow was trying to win, but he was laying down. "Wait, how does he even know how to ice skate?" "I forgot," Nicole said as she slapped her forehead. "This is some ice trap that I forgot to study in school. It makes everybody who knows how to ice skate slip, and everyone who is a failure at ice skating get ice skates. I already have too much bruises on my behind from attempts to stand up on the ice. Why didn't I do homework in 4th grade? The only way we'll ever get over this mess is if you have a tiger's eye that you got from killing one." "Do you have one?" Mark asked hopefully. "Yes, but I'm saving it." "For what?" "For watching my favorite anime TV show." "Seriously? Give that to me." "No! I need to find what happens in episode 27. Mark grabbed the tiger eye and it smashed on the ground. The ice, not to mention the ice skates, instantly disappeared. "Fine," Nicole grunted, "but you owe me a DVD. Besides, how did you know how to use that? Martial arts? After school magic club? Eating gummy bears? Because they do help you do that." They walked west towards the pink and orange sunset. "I say we set up camp for the night," Marshmallow said. Then they decided that they would all get stuff for the night. Marshmallow swam and got water. Mark got food by climbing a pineapple tree. Nicole set up camp. Pretty soon, they had everything they needed. After a few hours, they all went to bed. When they woke up, they started walking again until they got to a little meadow. "I want a break," Nicole groaned, plopping down in the grass. "Me too," Mark replied. Except Marshmallow's idea of a break was making an insect parade. Mark gasped. Marshmallow had put a lot of work into it. All the insects had little marching band hats, and they were all singing. It was a splendid show. They kept on walking until they got to the woods. Nicole muttered something, and a compass appeared in her hands. "How the heck do you do that?" Mark yelled. "Mark," Nicole laughed, "please stop asking me." They took the compass and walked north, towards the cold wolf cave Ava was stuck in. When they stopped in front of the cave, the friends were all worried, but they knew they had to do it. As Marshmallow walked in, he cheered. "Yay!" he shouted. "My kindergarten buddies!" Mark rolled his eyes and heard Marshmallow chatting with them. "Hey, Joe, what's up, Cotton Candy?" Mark realized that maybe the wolves were actually his friends. They could use the wolves to get Ava back. Mark walked in with Nicole trailing behind. The wolves growled at him until Marshmallow barked. Whoa, these are not my kindergarten buddies! Marshmallow, you dumb old dog! Mark yelled as the wolves tackled him down. Nicole knew that there was only one way to save them all. If they were lucky, a deer would come along and the wolves would want to eat that. Really? Mark shouted desperately. That's your plan to save us all? Sit down and relax! Hold on, Nicole shrieked. That's when she saw a few acorns fall down. A deer started running towards it and eating it. Come on, wolves, Nicole cried, gesturing for them to come to the deer. You want food? Come get it. The wolves immediately ran towards the deer and chased it. Mark stood up. Thank you so much, Nicole. Hey! He screamed as he hugged her. Nicole was about to throw up at the fact that he was hugging her, but she decided to just go with it. She was pretty hungry anyways. Let's go, Marshmallow said as he walked out. Wait, a voice said. Weren't you looking for me? Yay, Marshmallow wolfed. It's Ava! I'm glad you're home, Mark smiled. Everyone walked back to Mark and Ava's house. They were all happy. They got what they wanted. Mark and Ava even moved in with Nicole. Besides, there were like 100 bedrooms there. Since Mark got a job in the local city as a children's book author, he wrote a story about their adventure. And where, you might ask, is this story? Right here. You just finished reading it. Mark, author of The Search for Ava. About the author. Nin hao, that means hello in Mandarin. My nickname is pixierules247. I'm a 3rd grade girl in Trevor Matea's 2-3 class at Stevenson Pact Elementary School. In school, I like talking to close friends, typing stories, and daydreaming about the day I will be able to have number 1, an unlimited supply of Disney World money, and number 2, a 2-year trip to Disney World. Number 1, because I love the rides. They have cotton candy, and they have a turkey leg stand where you can get a gigantic turkey leg for only $2! I'm pretty good in multiplication, being happy around friends, and sleeping. Our teacher, Trevor, is really nice, funny, and kind. I live in a 2-story house with my mom, dad, little sister, and big assortment of stuffed animals. My mom teaches yoga and is a holistic doctor in training. A holistic doctor is a doctor who only uses natural materials. It's different from Western medicine. My dad is a software engineer, so I love making programs for him. He is the one who taught me to program. My parents are awesome. My little sister and I have a craft club. When I'm at home, I love drawing manga, watching TV shows like Lab Rats, and writing letters to friends. I often program games and animations. When Trevor told us that we would be writing stories, I was more excited than ever. We started writing and writing. I had no idea what to write. For a few days, my mind was completely blank. Then, once I heard the song Imagination Forest from the Vocaloids, I got addicted. Then, I had the perfect story idea. After we wrote the stories, I started typing. 5 seconds later, I was on a typing frenzy. 2 days later, people were asking me for a typing boost for some strange reason. As I helped them type, the stories gave me even more ideas. Pretty soon, my story was completely different. I liked it that way. During the process of my story, I found out that friends help a lot. My best friend helped me come up with my title. A few friends of mine gave me more ideas. I'd like to thank everyone who I worked with during the story project for helping me make this the best story I've ever written. As you can see in my story, the main idea is that Mark, Marshmallow, and Nicole don't give up as they try to find Ava. Thanks for taking the time to reading my story. My story is inspired by Roald Dahl in many ways. First of all, I used names from my own life. Mark is the name of my old friend, except his name was spelled as Mark with a K. I picked him because I thought it would be nice to use someone that was my friend and someone I don't see so much, so my friends wouldn't think I wrote a story about them. Mark appeared as a human, and so did Sophie, Roald Dahl's daughter, in the BFG. My protagonist is also a kid. Mark is 12 years old. Almost every protagonist in Roald Dahl's story is a kid, including Matilda and Matilda, Sophie in the BFG, and Danny the champion of the world. Basically, everyone, except for the wolves, I don't know how old they were, is 15 years old or younger in my story. I thought it would be good to have kids for their protagonists because they usually have creative ideas, and pretty much only kids believe in magic. Last, I made my story fantasy in one hand and realistic on the other hand, put it on the table, and smashed it with a hammer! This starts when Mark figures out that Marshmallow can talk. Sort of weird. This happens again when he realizes Nicole is magic. Plain weird. This happens yet again when he finds out about magic traps that Nicole forgot to study. Really weird. This happens in Roald Dahl's story, the BFG, when Sophie finds out about all the giants. I think you can see how my story is inspired by Roald Dahl.